Hey guys, it's Angel. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're getting a very early look at a brand new upcoming aircraft. Yeah, that's what it seems to be. This is Cockspur's Cessna C510. I keep wanting to say 310. Hashtag say the 310. C510 Citation Mustang. Now, this little classified as very light jet was first produced and launched in 2002, first flew 2005, and production ended in 2017 with nearly 500 units built. It's powered by a pair of the Pratt & Whitney PW615F turbofans, can get up to 340 knots and fly over 1,100 nautical miles, which is pretty crazy. It has seating for 4 in the back, 2 in the front. It's certified for single pilot operations. It uses the G1000 system, and I know this has been one that's been widely anticipated, and Cockspur were very generous to send me a copy of this, and it is very early beta. What that means, and I need to get this out first, is this is not finished. There are sound things to be improved, there are modelling things, there are texture things. There are lots and lots of parts of this that are still a work in progress. Okay? So I need to stress that. This is not a finished product, but we're going to review it as is, and we're going to take a look at what it can do now and what it's going to be able to do. Now, I can tell you already, the retail price is going to be $25.99. Or $24.99, I do apologise. Now that, I believe, is going to be in sterling. So we're looking at a similar market, €24.99 euro. I just looked it up here. And they're expecting to have various, all the same switches that will work in the real one will function. And they're adding more and more things as that goes on. And now they're adding more of the factors as well, including tracking for an October release. It will be on the marketplace. And it will be heading to Xbox at some point, so that will be there for you as well. Now, this one, they've already announced another aircraft they're working on, which is the 800 XP. Another bizjet for you guys who love those. And there's a few others I know about, but I can't tell you just yet. Now, I'm not a big fan of jets, but the little business jets are definitely ones that excite me. And this is one that fits into that category. Now, let's go take a look at some of the features on this thing, shall we? Okay, we'll start on the outside first, because it's where the best stuff is often. So it's a small jet, not a very big aircraft, but it's kind of cute. If you like the CJ4, it is very much in that same category of small business jet. Although it is smaller, it is definitely of the same family, the Citations. But I'd say it's definitely the smallest. Now, this has a number of features that will please quite a lot of people, but let's just go inside first. Oh, sorry, I have to look at the gear. That's one of my jobs, I must look at the landing gear. Oh, there we go. It has a tyre. We can confirm there is a tyre. Oh, hello, there we go. Wheel wells. A rather interesting landing gear of this type of aircraft, with that kind of knee joint almost. Quite cool. Very compact as well. Okay, in the cockpit. So, first off, we have a cell phone down here, which is for now our electronic flight bag. Different and less obtruse, perhaps, than a big tablet. But it hasn't got a ton of features that you need to use this for, so that's already a first thing here. Now we can equip our passengers. This will open and close cargo doors, which it does not currently. That's going to be added. This will enable the co-pilot, red carpet, pitot covers, engine covers, and chocks. Let's go take a look at some of those. But first off, for those of you who like this feature, yes, your co-pilot can be visible in the cockpit with you, which many people quite enjoy. So, outside, we've got our usual covers and fluff and chocks, but there's also a rather nice rolls just sitting out here with a red carpet, which is clipped under the ground because of the positioning of Orcas Island being weird. It didn't do it when I first tested this, so that's just some airports it might go underground, but they may fix that. We'll have to find out. Now, the Rolls-Royce it's a Rolls-Royce, you know, it's a car that looks like a car parked next to an aircraft. It'll do. But all the various functions and features there are rather cool. Let's go take a look inside. I have to use the drone camera to do this because it can be often kind of annoying otherwise. We have 4 very, very happy-looking passengers. Some of them more terrifying than others. Looking at you there, Sally. And everyone appears to be enjoying their view out the window. Speaking of which, individual blinds that you can control exclusively as much as you want to. Tables you can pull out in the back here. And that is on both sides. Click that one. Another window we can pull down. Oh, this one as well. Yep. Okay, that's a baked-in ambient occlusion from this up here. So that's probably something that'll get removed. I'll have to mention that one to him. Like I said, early access beta, so it's not something that's finished by a long stretch. Now, right now, the only way to open the door is by pulling the actual lever. However, on the final version... stupid buttons. There we go. On the final version, it will have that from the actual phone tablet as well, so you'll be able to do that. So we have a door that functions. And a cabin. So let's close our little hatch here. And let's get ourselves back in at the pilot seat. We'll start this thing up, we'll take a look. So I'm going to go grab my quick start guide here, because I'm going to use the manual for this one. So, batteries on, fuel boosts to normal. Where are those? Fuel boost to normal. Okay, fuel boost normal. Starter right. Let's make sure my fuel is cut off currently. Oh no, we have these idle triggers to utilize here, so... Okay, that would be these. So we'll go with starter right, on. They're still messing with the sounds as well and the starter sounds, so that's also another factor. Oh, I need to click that button there. We've got N2 on, so let's click the idle trigger. And that should get us a good start. And then it's right generator is on. Left start. It's coming up. Pretty simple starting on this kind of aircraft. You click that trigger there, which sets it to idle, engages the fuel essentially, so it's acting like a cutoff. Of course, we've got parking brakes down here. Engines are starting. Alternators are on. Okay. So right now, whilst all these things are functional, in many cases there are still some that don't do anything. They will in the finished version, if they have a function. So, consider it a work in progress. We have got the FMS controls for various functions there. What do you do? Yeah, controls on-screen functions with the center console. Wonderful buttons. There we go. They'll control the center here. We've got PFD and obviously second one for the co-pilot. Autopilot functions up here. Got our master warnings. What's my master warning down there for? No warnings. Okay, we're good. Now we have... These have no function to them yet. They will. Of course, the cabin fans and various things don't do anything right now. Our lights do. These do not function, so I'm not going to show you lighting just yet because not a functional feature just at the time. So let me just make sure everything is functional here that I was hoping would be functional. Which lever am I meant to be pressing? Okay, that's one there. That's one there. Okay, I'm in twin jet configuration, which makes that the flaps. Okay. So takeoff flaps are set there. My spoilers, if I do that, should be deployed. They are. Excellent. Let's check control surfaces. And we've still got all our covers on. We'll best get rid of those because that could be a problem for flight. I'm not sure how the engine started with keeping those on. But chocks off, engine covers off, Peter covers off, red carpet, co-pilot. We'll leave the co-pilot on. Why not? And I'm pretty sure the cabin door is secured and dogged. It is. It'd be really awkward to take off without that being done. So, let's go take this thing for a spin around Orcas Island and we'll see how she flies. So let's turn that off. Let's turn my head on. First off, in head tracking, visibility is very good. Although we do seem kind of far forward here, so... Not too far forward, but far enough forward that I notice it. Let's turn our head around here. It's Honestly, very spacious, visible cockpit. I quite like this. For reset things, it's no different really, but in terms of cockpit views, these aren't really set or functional yet. We've just got a number of them to cycle through. Yeah, they're not set even slightly yet, so that is a non-functioning feature at the moment. We will do, of course. And we, of course, got sun visors we can deploy there. Useful as always. Pat Emma on the head for good luck. Let's take this thing out for a spin, shall we? Right, that spoiler is retracted, so taxi her off to the runway. Head back on. Again, I'm not a big fan of large jets, but this is the kind of jet I can get behind. You know, it's got full systems that you can utilise. It's got the full functionality you'd expect from an aircraft in the sim. Everything clicks and turns as it should and does something. And it's not a big aircraft. It will do the kind of flights I'd like to do that are longer without being horrifically complex. I can fly IFR, I can fly to and from different countries, but I'm not worrying about 47 billion systems. It's not a massive passenger airliner. Okay, so lining up here at the runway at Orca, so we should have a bit of runway. We'll manage just fine. So, bring her on here. Visibility is phenomenal from the cockpit, and so far, in-sim performance has been very sharp. We've had degradation of performance since the last outage they had in the sim, and Sim Update 9, so this has been smooth so far. Oh, that's my flaps I just put down. Full power, let's go. Tracks nicely on the centre line. Airspeed is good. Rotate. It's coming up. Let's go outside, take a look at that gear as we bring it in. Very loud. Very loud indeed. No response to my honeycomb. Will I get it from G? Yes, we do. So that's a honeycomb issue rather than a citation issue. Engine sounds are... There we go. It's quieter in here. Quite nice. I like those. They're noisy. They sound like how an aircraft should sound. I do like a noisy engine. Okay, let's pull those flaps in. Clean aircraft. Pull the throttles back here. So we're not going to be up high cruising at any point in this flight. This is just a quick test flight to kick the tyres and see how she behaves. But so far, texturing is cool. There's a lot of little candy things I'd like to see in the aircraft as possibilities. And I don't believe the fuses function yet. That may be something we see, I don't know. But I've been told if it pulls or clicks, it should work. So that's what we're expecting. And I do like the smaller tablet, the phone. I do like having more features to a tablet in an electronic flight bag that a lot of others do provide. But when it's just functions, a simple thing like that is more than enough. I'd like to be able to hide it though as well. That would be something quite nice I'd like to see. And the overall layout of the cockpit is good. Why my engine's off centre? That would be why. I was pulling back the wrong thing, not the right one, because I'm still stuck in a GA mentality. And have the wrong head selected on my actual throttle quadrant here. So I didn't get the controls to behave with the honeycomb. So that's something I need to be aware of. That's a click spot in the cockpit otherwise. Now there are some different interiors for different versions. I know one of the particular ones does have at least a different one there. Texturing inside and out is good. It looks really nice. It's as good as I'd expect it to look. And sounds in the aircraft are quite nice. Again, the startup sounds are going to be tweaked, I've been told already by the developer, as are a number of other parts of that, so we'll be expecting to see those in future looks. And when it comes to the overall behaviour, it's what I really expect of a small, very light business jet. It's fast, it's manoeuvrable, it's obviously not a fighter jet, but it's going to do exactly what it says on the tin. It's a business jet. So far I've seen no real flaws in how it's behaving itself. We'll bring her in for landing in a moment and we'll see what she does. I'm giving it a bit more room with this, so I'll be a little bit faster. The views obviously will be something that needs to be sorted. I'm not sure what candy features we'll see, but in terms of it being a decent little aircraft, it has that. Visually, it's a competitor to the Honda Jet, which a lot of people have quite liked. That's a bit of a stutter there in the sim. Do love how it's behaving itself, don't we, folks? Visually, a competitor to the Honda Jet. Systems-wise, not yet. But that's not something I know about in terms of what's expected for this. Again, this is very early beta, so we're not seeing a finished aircraft at this stage, or anything even close to that point of completion. Okay, let's pull the power back to idle here. Let's see how slippery she is, so I'm going to have to give it some spoiler. I'm going to need to give it some spoiler. We're not anywhere near slow enough. Look at it, kill the speed there. Let's get the gear down. Pull those spoilers in pretty sharpish. Off centre line there. We'll have to come back in with an S. Full flaps for approach. Let's get my throttles back up to a point where I'm not going to be stalling anytime soon. Now we're extremely dirty as an airframe. Oh, it's heavy on the nose there with the flaps and gear out. Give it a bit of power. We're really slow right now, about 70 knots. Okay. Glass reflections aren't too crazy, but they're not bad either. So that's something nice. As we get new updates to this, I'm expecting I'm going to be able to show you guys things like the night lighting, other functions and features of the aircraft as they come to it. But for what we're expecting is kind of the standard pricing almost of an aircraft add-on now. Heck, I mean, this has already got most of the features that we see in most aircraft that are released for this price. Anything more is a winner, to be honest. It seems like it's very common now for everyone just to chuck things out for the same bargain price of about 20, whether it's worth that or not. We're seeing higher end developers about there or just above it, and in some cases much above it. Whether or not that's still a valid price point anymore with the 60, 70, 80, I'm not sure. But for the very light business jets, it fits quite nicely, and we're seeing decent quality come out from developers. So I'm way too low and way too slow, and I'm not able to get speed here. I'm at full thrust, and I should be at higher altitude here, descending down towards the runway, rather than this gobbledygook approach I'm making. Trying to work out which is the correct control I'm grabbing hold of here. This is the most ham-fisted approach I've ever made, but this is also the first time I've taken to the air anywhere. I've loaded into the sim a couple of times with this, checking over things, testing, playing with features, but it's the first time I've flown the Mustang. So I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants here. Don't know what that's telling me. We'll keep our eye on it. Still drifting right to centerline for some reason. Let's give it a bit of a rudder. There we go. Maybe it's a bit of wind, I'm not sure. I wouldn't expect there to be any wind today. Bring her in just fine. There we go. Looking good, a little bit high. Still so right to centerline. My gosh. Like, I could not get that thing to come back left, and I think that's on me. Oh no, we do have a crosswind. Judging by the sock. So we had a crosswind landing. There we go. I think I did okay. Yeah, I was off to the right of the runway by more than I expected, but it wasn't too harsh a landing. Good bit of tire squeal, and she flies as I'd expect. Again, I'm not a jet expert, but if I do fly jets, it tends to be these size of aircraft. Now, it's because I find them much more fun to fly, more simple, less 24 hours setting up FMSs and programming every single feature of an aircraft before I even take to the skies, where it then basically does it automated for me. That's no interest. This is still an aircraft you fly, very much so, as a pilot, and of course that has more interest to me. And it's the aircraft like the Citation that I much prefer visually over things like the Honda. But that's a personal thing of vision. I like this. This and the CJ4 are two aircraft types I've always quite liked in that business jet category. And so far, what I'm seeing from the developer is the right steps in the right direction. Features people want, like the option to have a visible co-pilot. We've got control for various candy features. We have candy features. And, of course, the ability to be someone that's willing to listen to ideas and improve things. Their testing procedure, from what I've seen so far, is pretty extensive. And they have a constant list of things they want to update and change. Yeah, I was sent a copy of this for free to look at and review for you guys, but honestly, that just helps when I have to spend huge amounts of money on everything else otherwise. I'm always going to be honest. That's my golden rule, is I will always be honest with you guys, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far as a beta product. Something that's marketing to go out for about 25, that's already in this state, with a scheduled release of October. This is impressive. Like, I can see this getting to some really cool places before it comes out. And I can see myself flying around the US on this thing. Okay, power is idle. Let's stop there. Now, I believe to stop the engines, pull them back past the idle detent. And fuel pumps to off. Everything powered down. And before we do that, let's just check if yeah, the engine noises are still kind of square waving a little bit, which is something they are planning to fix. Let's just quickly turn the red carpet on and see if we get a different result this time. We do. It's right there, see? Just the terrain underneath the aircraft kind of screwed with it a little bit, but we had that functioning just right. So, I really like this thing. This is a cool aeroplane, and it's in an affordable category price-wise. It's going to have more features than this when it releases. It's well made, the texturing is good, the flight handling is expected, and I'm pretty happy with this. This is definitely quite a nice one. There's little nuggets in various places that I quite find endearing, and it's the attention to detail from someone that I think you can see a difference between pump the product out quickly and a product you care about. It's the little features like the individual window covers. It's the little features in the cockpit, like the various controls that have been put in the correct way, and or the cell phone tablet. The fact you can then see your co-pilot. This is an aircraft designed by somebody who wants to give you the immersion of flying, not just create an aircraft, pump it out the door, and get on to the next one. I'm excited to see where this goes, and I will keep you guys updated with that. But for so far, this is going to be a really exciting product. Thanks for watching. Bye.